Yo!
It's a lot.
Excited.
As is your suit.
Had a hearing today in Custer County. Got home. Did a lot of house chores for the wife because I'm just really something.
No, you didn't.
Had to eat dinner. Had to let our dog out. Put myself last, as many people do in this world. And I think it's something to be admired. What do you think?
I got home later than you and cleaned all your dishes.
Why do you all? You always got to bring up old news.
You're the one who said you did a bunch of housework.
We're about to hear it now.
You're the one that said you did a bunch of housework. You didn't do anything but let our dog out, which I'm glad you did that. He would have gone on the carpet.
Yeah, I had to let him out. Had to rush home, let him out. Had to try to, and I scarfed down dinner. Mm-hmm. Barely even. What did we eat for dinner? It was like you made chicken, or I don't remember. I had to eat it so fast.
He ate it so fast, and then proceeded to snack on Oreos and Cheetos.
150 calories for 2 double stuffed golden Oreo cookies. It's a crime.
Wait, per?
No, for 2.
For 2.
Per serving, which is 2 golden double stuffed cookies.
In moderation.
Yeah, but I could eat 10 of those.
That's why you only eat 2.
RFK, where are we at in that?
I eat 2 when I eat Oreos.
Yeah, fair. We got some news coming at you today. I am Chad Smith.
I am Tyranny Smith.
It's my wife. And yes. We are the voice of college football, Oklahoma. We stream on Mondays at 7 Central. And then when breaking news happens throughout the week, if we can get to it, we try to. We'll be better about as we, get better at this, making videos throughout the week. And, hopefully going to do call-in shows soon as well.
Yeah.
So comment for us if you're watching on YouTube. Like the video, please. We're not ashamed to ask for likes. It's something we need.
And subscribe to the channel.
Yep. And also, super chat if you want. That'd be nice. It'd be cool. It could help.
We try to get to the comments along the way. Sometimes we have a little more info to get to, so we don't get as much back and forth as we would like. But if you want to make sure we see your comment, super chat is the way to go. But
100% the way to go. So let's get into, T, we're both OU fans, right?
Okay.
We believe that when people work hard, that life sometimes rewards you.
Sometimes, yeah.
That if we do things the right way, because so many people get rewarded in this world that just take the shortcuts, they don't do the right thing, the refs give them every call, Tom Brady, or, they do stuff that's just, like, makes you want to just vomit sometimes.
Okay.
Oklahoma's nose to the grindstone, Tyler Childers style. Okay. We're doing all we can do.
Okay.
Does the SEC reward that? No! They don't. They give us a schedule that Diamonds would be jealous of the hardness of. Diamonds would say, hey, I'm soft compared to you.
Uh-huh. Is that it?
I don't know how we get tossed in a must-win year. Mm-hmm. Brent Venables on the hot seat. Mm-hmm. Jalapeno in a microwave hot. This dude, if he doesn't, hotter than a SpaceX engine.
Okay.
There's not many more I can go with right now because I'm just trying to. But the number one hardest schedule in all of football goes to, why is this not working? Goes to yours truly, the Oklahoma Sooners. Why won't this open? And what I love about it is you listen to Brent Venables in his interview this week, and he talks about how he is not afraid of any of this. That it's, I really like. Did you get a chance to listen to his interviews at all, or not?
Referring to me?
Yeah.
I got to listen to a little bit, and then I had to jump out because I had a bunch of patients in a row. But I don't think I got to the part about our schedule because that's not in my. No, or maybe I did.
But it was just. It was a brutal. Okay,
but what do you want him to say? Oh, I'm shaking in my boots.
No. It was great. No, it was a great. No, I'm saying the interview was great.
You're saying like it awkwardly.
I'm saying, the SEC just must hate Oklahoma. Now Florida, not getting any better. Our friends Josh Huckabee and them. Shout out to you if you ever see this. We get it. They don't want to see us win. That's that old the little joking thing they do all the time. They don't want to see us win. That's them. That's us. And our screen froze again. That's not the most fun thing in the world.
Yeah, he's trying to share the graphic and it's not wanting to work. Oh, it has it blocked.
Well, that's annoying.
Remember
I don't know why.
You did that?
No, I do not know.
You messed up last time.
Let me go. No, I'm just going to go window here. I'm not worried about the sound for this one. This right here. People. The hardest schedule. Top 10 toughest schedules. Oklahoma, number 1.
Numero uno.
Florida, South Carolina, Syracuse, LSU, Wisconsin, Kentucky, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Kent State.
Poor Kent
now,
State.
what's funny about this?
Kent State trying to pay some bills.
There are 4 teams on here with a T in their name. One of them's not Texas. Where are they? Do you think they're in the bottom 10?
Probably.
I want to see payments. I want a Doge investigation into the SEC,
Right.
and I want it now.
Yeah, I would say I find it a little ironic that Texas fans last year tried to say like
Everyone, like watching
that
the flop,
their
thinking
that their
he's the
schedule
goat.
wasn't that tough. They're like, or that it was tough. Oh no, it was hard. Y'all are just saying, what happened to it being tough from top to bottom? It's like, yes, in theory, it is like SEC. But what that means is like even the worst teams are going to beat some of the worst teams in, or even some of the best teams in other conferences. But when it came to the actual conference, you played the bottom half. But then the irony is now that I guess some of their fans didn't realize the schedule's just flipped for next year. You're playing all the same people. They're sitting there saying, we don't have anybody coming into Austin. Like, this is trash. Like, why would they give us this schedule? I'm like, okay, so what you're saying is you don't have good teams coming into you played the same teams this year, but apparently this year they were all amazing. But
True.
next year, no? But
True.
anyways, I'm not worried about them. They have to win their games. We have to win ours. Yes, we clearly have the harder schedule, but we knew that. I'm not surprised when it came out that we were going to have the toughest schedule of 2025. It was not shocking to me at all.
Right, and I think what's even more frustrating about it is because we're going to have a common opponent now with Texas and Michigan, and Michigan's going to progress probably to the mean because they're not a bad team, and they were horrible when Texas played them last year.
Yeah, they were really bad.
They were not good.
They literally, it's like they woke up against Ohio State. We're like, oh hey, this is how we play football, and then they did well for the rest of the season.
Right. And so we're gonna
Before
have
that, they could barely tie their shoes.
You're 100% right. So we're gonna have a common opponent with them, which is frustrating because it is a year in which, in all seriousness, it's a year in which BV's schedule or a whole career is going to be judged and probably determined. And what I love is like there's no backing down from BV. He's like, I love it. It was one of the coldest lines I've heard by a coach when he goes, I've had this mindset my whole career, and what am I going to call the defense because I'm good at it? It was, and then it just ends. And if we end up making it really far next year, winning a lot of big games, and our defense plays really well, that's going to be used in some.
Because I'm good at it.
Yeah. It's going to be clipped by teams that score on us or whatever, but it's going to be used in a lot of promo videos for Brent
Right.
Venables, and
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
rightfully so.
No,
be sweet.
definitely. And I mean, we'd already talked about that if we didn't get somebody like super high caliber, there was no point anybody but Brent Venables
Right.
calling the defense
Right.
anyway. Especially when we got on Arbuckle, it's like, why not? What do we have to lose? So I'm excited because from our perspective, another great year of new teams that are good coming into Norman. Also another year of, it's kind of like, man, which trip do you want to take?
Yeah, no joke.
So if you can afford all of them, congratulations on being the 1%. How does it feel? But if you're like, a lot of us, you get to pick one.
Yeah.
Which we haven't decided yet.
Rightfully so. And yeah, we haven't really, have we?
Well, tentatively. We're thinking
Fair.
Tennessee, but also Tuscaloosa's looking pretty cool.
Pretty enticing.
Pretty enticing.
Yep.
But
It is, yeah. It's going to be an interesting schedule. I want to make sure I didn't have anything else on this. I kind of just abandoned my cold open.
Right,
here.
and we are going to go through it later, and we're going to try to find people from other universities to come in and talk about that we're going to play, and kind of do early takes, if you will, like ask them about how we think their team's going to be, what do they think is going to be the key to beating Oklahoma, what they're looking forward to, and things of that nature, especially in the summer when things cool down as far as like how far you've been from football, but then like you're heating up because of how close you feel like you're getting. So we're going to try to have some people come on and talk about their teams as well, from Texas, Michigan, Missouri. If you're out there, we'll find you.
We will find you. And,
Like the Taken guy, Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I will find you.
Derek
and I will
Hamilton.
put you on our show.
Derek Hamilton says, hey guys, sorry I'm late. It's all good. Love y'all's show. Thank you, man. Keep up the great work. And look at Chad in his courtroom shit. I see. Thank you, man. Yeah. I had a hearing in Custer County.
No,
so
I literally
been
came
running
home and
all that.
changed, and as he was like kind of brushing his teeth, I was like, are you not going to change this guy? I don't have time. Like, we're already late. I'm like, okay. Like,
Well, yeah.
we're going to be
It's all good.
starkly different. He just looks like Harvey Specter, and that's okay with
There
me.
will be, thank you about that. Wish I had his bank account.
Same.
There will be some lessons, a little tip at the end of the show, by the way, and for the players, because if I see another second button done, federal crime, investigate, indictment, something.
Okay.
So that is kind of the, I guess, big picture right now for Oklahoma football. And then we have, obviously, the Jim Nagy news broke about his contract. He is going to receive a $750,000 salary and then a $100,000 bonus each year for the next 3 years. So it'll finish at $950,000.
Okay, I wrote a quote. This is my notebook.
Yeah.
And I joked that my notes would never make sense to anybody else but me, but tis what it is. One of the quotes that I liked that Brent Venables gave about having Jim Nagy is, especially when it comes to the portal and recruiting, you're not just throwing a net out in the middle of the ocean trying to catch fish.
Yes,
Instead, like, you have somebody who's going to put you in the right spot to be able to catch the right fish. And I thought that was such a good analogy, metaphor, whatever it is, whichever figure of speech you would like, because it makes sense. Because he said also too, instead of us having to focus on coaching, focus on recruiting, now he's focusing basically on recruiting 24/7,
right?
While we can focus more on the coaching side. Brilliant. Like, I'm sure that's that's just the way it's going to go. But I thought that casting a net into the ocean versus like getting in a designated spot was such a good way to look at it, because there are hundreds of athletes out there, and you got to find the right ones. Another thing I thought was fun, when it came to the NFL Combine, he said 1/4 of Combine guys started at a non-Power 5.
Wow.
Right. So I know a lot of people always talk about why do we recruit all these non-Power 5 guys? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm sure he's heard that too, which is why he wanted to throw out that statistic that like 25% of guys who get invited to the combine, which is a chunk, did not start at a Power 5. So it shows that there is talent out there, whether or not you didn't make the grades or you didn't just get the looks that you're wanting, or maybe you just went to a small school and you just didn't get looks. There's only so many scholarships on top of that. I remember when I was going through high school, they talked about there was like 300 scholarships for thousands of athletes for women's basketball. Essentially, it was like something small like that. That there was only like a Division I, anyways. So sometimes it's just you just don't get the looks that maybe you deserve or that you want. So I thought that was a really fun statistic too that he gave. And I know I kind of jumped forward, but
no, you're good. You're good. And this other aspect of it just came to my mind. It should be a motivator for better academic performance from kids, because how many of those scholars, say a school is saying, hey, we don't have a athletic scholarship to bring you here. We have a roster spot, but we just don't have if you have the academics, you can make up for that with academic scholarships from the school. So, it's just more motivation. It should be more motivation. It's just another. And
here's the thing, that's realistic because
yeah, for sure.
I mean, I know in junior college they offered me my athletic scholarship, but once they saw my grades, like, wait a minute, hold up, we can actually pay for you,
right, with
academics, and we can save this letter for somebody else. So I was still getting it paid for no matter what. And I had my letter of intent in my second year. Very true. I left my letter of intent so they can give to another player. And then same thing happened at my D2. I got a full ride scholarship academics or basketball, but then we found scholarships to supplement me. And so we basically said, take some of this other money and give it to my teammate. Right. So it's like, that is very possible. Like, we want you, but either don't have the scholarship, or we want you, we can actually give you money academically. Yeah. And then you can still reserve that money for another player that maybe isn't as good in the classroom. So it's kind of...
you're 100% right.
Just kind of could work out that way.
Well, and I think especially with anything you can do. I mean, we just heard last week, golly, it's a famous coach, and I hate that I'm not the best with memorizing basketball coaches. But who was the basketball coach we listened to say he didn't recruit a single high school kid this year? It was all JUCO or other transfers.
Who was that?
I'm sure the chat might know.
Was it Kentucky?
No. It was it's a famous coach, and I can't think of his name. Chat, if any of y'all know anyone watching, type it in the comments if you can.
Which is crazy.
But yeah, and it makes sense. He's like, I don't have time to if I can't find a kid that I think can give us production right out of high school, I don't have time to try to get a kid in here and develop. How much. And BV said it too in his press conference. How much room is there for developmental kids now? Because remember, the roster limitations are going to go to 105, and Texas is going to have to deal with that with a lot of their players because they haven't had to make those cuts yet. They haven't made them, And so when they do, how is that going to affect a lot of those kids, you know?
Right.
And if you can save the team money by being academically better,
Right.
or achieve academically more and get those scholarship dollars there, it just gives you a better chance. It just makes yourself more marketable to the college and to the
Right.
university.
More valuable. as
Exactly.
well. And that's one thing I liked about Brent Venables, that he seems to really push academic excellence. Because remember, they have like those dinners for guys that have above like a 3.5 GPA
Yeah.
or 3 GPA. I don't
think
know.
3, yeah.
Or I think they have like different levels even. But to me, like, that's fantastic, because at the end of the day, that is what you are there for.
Right.
Is to get an education. Because what is it, 1%? Less than 1% of you are actually going to go pro. But the other 99% of you are going to go out into the career force, and you want to set yourself up for not for failure. Don't set yourself up for failure. You want to set yourself up
Success.
for success.
100%.
And so that starts in the classroom. You want to be learning, you want to be growing. And so I love that that's been an emphasis for Brent Venables and his program.
I 100% agree. And I think that it was a big, not only pitch for, you know, the players now, but then recruits too. And we'll get to some of that here soon as well. Speaking of recruiting news, I'll run through these really quick to you if you want me to. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Before we get to recruiting news, I guess, we are going to let you all know about the Voice of College Football and what we're offering right now. So,
Put that in the chat, and we'll throw up the image.
okay. I don't know if did it finally have it in here?
Yes, we did it last week. We're still new at this.
Boom.
Sorry to our boss as well. We're
Yeah,
still getting
right.
better. Last one. Am I reading it today?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, great. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football.
Yo.
See what our partner, Win Agency, has to say about its sponsorship experience with us. Let's discuss how you can reach your target market. Contact us at sponsorships@voiceofcollegefootball.com today.
And then
And we did put
Lisa
that.
Lynn.
Yeah, we did put that voice of our sponsorship at vocfb.com in the chat. So if you are a small business owner and you're looking for ways, to target more people, go ahead and reach out to them.
Boom. There we
Or,
go.
if you don't have a small business, you have a large business. That would be even better.
All right. Well, there was some news in recruiting real quick that we're going to touch. First off, Jaden O'Neal has transferred to Mustang. As you know, Jaden O'Neal is currently the commit at the Oklahoma quarterback commit.
The Mustang Bronco.
He has moved to Oklahoma and was in California before this. Interesting right now because he's also just said he's going to be in Georgia over the weekend coming up. So BV obviously has a no visit, no
If you
visit
say you're
policy or
committed.
rule if you're committed, right? And I actually don't think it even takes away the scholarship offer. I know it doesn't take away the commitment of the scholarship offer. It's just they treat you as though you're not committed because they don't.
So they continue to recruit.
They would continue to recruit, right? So
Which would, to me, it makes sense. If I'll put it in not realistic terms, but like drama terms. If you had proposed to me and gave me a ring, said you're committed to me, and then the next weekend was like, but I'm gonna go hang out with this chick this weekend, I'm gonna have some questions.
You wouldn't be a fan of that?
No. So it'd be like, wait, hold up. What do you mean you're committed to me? Why do you need this other chick? I'm just saying. So I think I would keep my options open there too. I mean, personally, there would be no more options. I would just be done.
You would be done with it?
But this is not that serious necessarily. But I mean, I get the point. If you're committed, be committed.
Yeah, and
But also, I'm also very pro take all your trips, which I now don't think they have a limit. But I'm very pro with. Wow, we're a tiny little box. There we are.
That was kind of odd.
You definitely need to take all your trips. Go where, you feel like you at least need to try out. But then, don't say you're committed to someone.
Right.
But maybe he is. Maybe there's an ulterior reason. Maybe. I don't know. I was going to say maybe he just. His mom is a Georgia fan and always wanted to see Georgia. And so.
Yeah, who's that on you?
they're going to go see Georgia. But okay, I don't know.
Yeah. That's funny.
But it is interesting that you had moved to Oklahoma and then not stay. But
that is actually very interesting.
it's a pretty big move.
And that brings up the other quarterback we had on campus over the weekend, 4-star quarterback Bo Bentley.
What a name.
That is a good name, isn't it?
Alliteration.
See him right here. There are a lot of, and you can see his comment here about his weekend. He says, one of the biggest takeaways from this visit is how much of a priority, which is an interesting thing to put in there, I am to them. And I believe that Jaden O'Neal was offered. Well, I don't believe, I know we all do, that he was offered under the previous offensive coordinator, and that this guy is a guy who Ben Arbuckle really wants. And with his record of quarterbacks, it's hard to say he shouldn't be the one to have the final say.
Right.
And maybe Jaden O'Neal is getting that vibe from him too, and he's saying, I'm going to make sure all my options are open in case they do go with him. And yeah, fair enough. I think that's
because we still have Michael Hawkins too.
Yeah. Yep.
Sitting, I say sitting on the bench. I meant like sitting like backup or sitting and waiting. And again, I kind of feel for the kid too, because in the sense that Mateer comes in, it's automatically, quarterback, which I get why, but at the same time, it's like, dang. But I do think, based on just rumors I've heard, that why are we looking this up in front of everybody?
No. Oh, I didn't realize we were doing that. It's on me.
One of the things, though, that I have heard through the grapevine, so take that with a grain of salt.
Oh, I was wondering why you were.
Sorry. Well, I was thinking about how I wanted to say it or if I wanted to say it, but I've heard through the grapevine, take it with a grain of salt, that he doesn't feel ready. He didn't feel ready. Now, if you call his number, he's going to step up and do the best he can. That even his family felt like he wasn't quite ready yet and still has some learning and growing to do before,
sure.
Which is a very mature
way to look at it,
because that's not an easy thing to say is, I want to sit and wait. I want to sit and learn. I want to grow and develop. That, to me, that's a very, very mature response. And again, maybe that's not true.
Sure.
But just based on the people who told me, I feel like it is. Like that, to me, they wouldn't feel the need to lie.
Well, and you also have a really good quarterback room. And what I was looking at, Cole Gonzalez was another kid that came in, and he was the finalist for the Walter Payton Award, which is given to the Division I FCS National Offensive Player of the Year. So, you have a really good quarterback room already there. And so if you're Jaden O'Neal, you might be wanting to balance my chances of getting early playing time whenever you're that highly recruited.
Right.
Like a DJ Lagway kind of did at Florida. And making sure that, if he thinks he can get time somewhere else, or if he thinks that even if he goes there, another quarterback is going to be preferenced over him, then I don't blame him at all for looking at different places.
Right. And also, man, was it the guy, what's the quarterback room in Georgia? Maybe he does think he has a better chance of getting on the field immediately. Carson Beck is gone.
Carson Beck's gone, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just went blank on who the quarterback that played in the playoff was.
He had an awesome name too. Stockton?
Stockton?
Yeah, I think it is. But they also, they're pretty deep too at quarterback.
I was just curious. I just didn't know. We're trying to not have to press. Oof, poor Carson.
Quarterbacks. Why is this so hard to find, people?
Anybody remember what his name was? I thought it was Stockton.
I don't know.
Gunner
Stockton. Yeah.
Gunner Stockton. Woo!
But they also have Jaden Rashada. Jaden Rashada was a big 5-star quarterback out of high school too. So
I don't know then.
There's going to be a lot of people there. Yeah, he did play hard.
He did play well.
Game, yeah.
But yeah, no, that's interesting. I don't know. We'll see. I know that he went on another Oklahoma podcast recently, and Jaden O'Neal, and did some interviews there. So,
well, that's true.
Who knows?
It's
interesting.
Yeah, and it looked, it's one of those. I guess it doesn't matter. You can always go anywhere you want if you're that highly recruited. So
right.
the fact he even moved to Oklahoma isn't going to be the deciding factor, I don't think. But it's just interesting to kind of see the tea leaves fall into place and see. You got a kid that Arbuckle really wants, and then a kid that was recruited under the previous OC. It just, I think, makes sense to think that that other guy might prefer someone else. But also, I want to give, speaking of just the football team right now in spring practices, do we want to read one of ours first, or do we have another one?
We have 2 more.
2 more? Oh, okay. I want to give Jaron Canick a big just applause for him just sticking it out with a team. You know, it's tough whenever it's yeah, I do.
A round of applause.
It's tough whenever you come in as a linebacker and you want to play the position and you're extremely athletic. You are you trust BV to come here. You want him to be your coach, and it just isn't working out for whatever reason, or the people behind you just for whatever reason are performing better. So you're not getting the time you want. And instead of, especially in the portal era, in the era of me, it seems, he looked at the team and said, where can my athletic skills best help the program, best help Oklahoma football? And he switched to tight end. And there's people that I saw like making like a joke about it. And I'm like, why? If first off, he might be an NFL level tight end. None of us know. Like no one knows. Yeah, I mean, it's just you play where your skills best are best fit to make you a good the best football player you can be. And for him to just take on the position at not only like at the beginning of the year, but at the Division I college level at Oklahoma, especially at a position on the offense that's going to be highly criticized because of how it went last year, to say the least. You have athletic guys there. One of them, obviously, Devon Mitchell, who looks like is a big guy at 275.
That's a big dude.
And then a Caden Helms, if he's coming back healthy, another really athletic guy that could give you a lot. For him to say, and he might fit in that H-back position, like a Dimitri Flowers or a Millard, Trey Millard, one of those kind of guys. I just really want to just, for all the criticism we give players, I think we should give players that stick it out or even switch what they're doing to help Oklahoma that much more credit. And, I think Oklahoma fans need to do that too. It's fun to mess with people. It's fun to. Not fun, I shouldn't say it. Fans get do a lot of work of criticizing and saying, "Oh, he's not the linebacker we were told he was going to be." He might not be happy with the production he's had at linebacker, but he was man enough to admit that, to say, the coaches probably came to him and said, "Hey, we need your help here." Not a position he's played, and he's man enough to take the challenge on, to learn the technique, everything that's different on the offensive side,
right?
And to face the challenge. And I just think that's something that needs to be encouraged and celebrated.
I 100% agree, because we've talked, like you just said, and like we've talked about, like there's so little loyalty, it seems like, in college football now, that the loyalty should be celebrated that much more. The jersey should be bought that much more. You should be rooting on that kid for every single thing he does. You shouldn't be like, ugh.
Right.
God, this kid's staying, or this kid, it's already, I'm excited for him, and I really do hope it works out. I know that Brent Venables in his conference said, like, there's only one person that's in the gym more and works harder than John Mateer, and that was Jaron Kanik.
Yeah.
He said that boy lives in the gym, and he's always there, and he's trying to get better and working, and you just have to respect it.
You do.
And I wish him nothing but the best. I've been wishing him nothing but the best for years. But truly, like, this is a big move for him.
Yeah,
and I want it to work out.
Yeah.
But also, here's the thing. He could, if we need a blocking tight end, you want to talk about somebody who could block somebody? A former linebacker.
Yeah.
Like, you're hoping somebody who could block. at least learn them and, don't, whiff on them or whatever. But if you want somebody to block and block hard, who better than a former linebacker? Just,
boom.
No picks.
I also liked what Fasusi said in his interview about his recruitment, where he came to Oklahoma on his first visit, and his mom said, "Michael, you're coming here." And he goes, "Mom, we'll see." And he ended up here, and I thought that was pretty neat to see. Stacy,
yeah.
He learned. Speaking of Jaron Kanik, she says he learned well from Stutzman. Very true.
Probably,
very
yeah.
true. It was a interesting move, I thought.
Yeah, happy birthday, Danny, by the way.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday.
We saw that from his dad.
Quick note, injury bug, says Caden Ottoman. Injury bug already getting us. Eli Bowen was on crutches and in a boot today. Yeah, I don't know if that was injuries or he might have had just surgery fixing some things. A lot of times in spring ball they do that, and you'll miss some time.
And I know that I had written them all down, but Brent Venables had touched on who's going to miss the spring, and let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So there was 11. I guess now Eli would be 12 kids, adults, men that he had listed. And some of them he was like, no, some of these guys were just playing through injury throughout the year, and now they're finally getting it fixed. They're getting their surgeries, or they're just finally getting to lay off of it and do the rehab that they need. So you're hoping that's what it is. It's just an injury he had that he played throughout the year, and then he'll be back, come summer and fall. But yeah, whole list of guys.
And it was I saw on there where Jaden Gibson and Deion Burks were also injured. At least I saw a tweet. I think Parker Thune.
Okay, so I knew
tweeted out something
Jaden
today.
Gibson said had a small setback.
Yeah, I think he injured his ankle a little bit.
To which that would mean, I don't know. I hope it is truly small.
Yeah, no joke.
And then he is, the rest of the year because we need him back. I did not see about Deion Burks. Who I saw was, do you want me to read all these?
Sure. Yeah, might as well. We can get into the next.
Heath Ozida,
Yep.
Labrum, Cade
Where you got to be able to say the names.
I know. He was also a labrum. Jaden Jackson, he was playing through a labrum tear all year. Logan Howland, labrum. Seth Freeman, ACL. He was a long snapper. KJ Daniels, hamstring, which apparently this is a high school injury. So they're hoping to finally recover that, which honestly... Hammies suck.
They do.
As someone who has had a hurt hammy. But I don't like that it's a high school reoccurring injury.
That is kind of worrisome.
I'm hoping that that's not...
Soft tish guys, they kind of had reoccurring injuries for sure.
Andy Bass, ACL, Javonte Barnes, his foot, Darius Afalava.
Yeah, Afalava.
That's so fun to say.
He's a freshman.
He's also got a high school injury, his knees.
Yeah.
So again, it's like, okay.
Some of this stuff might just be they want to get people
Peyton
home.
Bowen, they said he played through turf toe all year. And then Gentry Williams is cleared.
So I bet that's what it is, a turf toe. They probably cleaned it out.
Gentry, that's Eli. This was Peyton.
Well,
but still they could be the same.
That's why.
Sometimes injuries run in families. And then Gentry Williams, they said he's cleared, but they're being very careful. They're doing no contact, as they should. We need him to finally be able to get on the field because dude is an animal. So
absolutely. All right. Do you want to read this? I don't know which one we're doing.
Supposed to be
banner.
All right, so if you did not know, if you enjoy seeing our faces, come back to our live pod. If you would prefer to just hear our voices, then you can catch the Voice of College Football Oklahoma live on your favorite audio platforms, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or Amazon Podcast. They do take our voices from the show. They put them on those platforms. So if you missed us, you can just listen to us on that. But perfect. You can subscribe to all of those. You can subscribe. I subscribe to us on Apple. Just give us a number for the Voice of College Football Oklahoma live on your favorite audio platform. But anyways, that was it for that one.
Boom.
Woo. And also, while you're here, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Connect with the Voice of College Football Oklahoma on Twitter and Instagram as well. You can check out the latest takes, ratings, and rankings. So connect with not only us, but the Voice of College Football in general, so you can get more information about other teams and just the hot topics going on in social media. So on top of subscribing to our channel, subscribe to the podcast version of our channel, and then also subscribe to the Voice of College Football in general.
Yeah. So, and throw a like, comment. You see it scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Make sure to do that for us if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And we got some just general practice video brought to you by people that were allowed to be in. Hopefully it would be us one day, which would be really cool. By the way, if anyone know you was watching, we'll gladly come to a practice if you want to let us.
Yeah, cool. You got a lawyer and a speech pathologist.
Yeah.
We got all the clearings. Safe people. We like to think we're good people.
Yeah, we're good peeps.
Former college athletes.
We're good peeps.
So,
T's a little dangerous, but
hey, my name's Tyranny. Take it with take that with you will. Chad's dad used to coach at OU, so hey, we're good families.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know, Chad's dad, yes, he did used to help coach at OU.
Yep.
In the 80s, 90s,
91,
early 90s,
91, 92.
before I was alive.
Yeah. Boom. Here's some just some footage we thought we would show for practice. This has been Arbuckle and some other coaches. This is brought to us by, I want to give credit here so we're not ripping, Hunter Cornejo at OU Nightly. He runs the show that I think Oklahoma does. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, this dude's ripped.
Like, that's a quad.
I like seeing these people coach up. It's awesome. 47 right here. Got the jersey very tight. Good to see. Look at BV. God, he looks just like my friend Will. It's crazy.
He does.
Speaking of jawlines, look at that thing. Cut a diamond. And then you'll see recruits over here.
Emmett Jones.
Emmett Jones. Now, Emmett Jones and I don't have the exact same muscle build, right?
No.
All right, well, I don't know.
Emmett Jones is so nice, though. I really like him, and he has really good energy. Met him at the women's clinic. So, for women out there, that's coming up this summer. So, be looking for tickets that go on sale around May. Not a sponsorship, but low-key a sponsorship because it's fun. It's worth it. But, yeah, no, Emmett Jones, he was cool. He remembered me, too.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was even cooler.
Pretty neat. Yep, so they got spring ball going. A lot of just footage coming out. There is some stuff with John Mateer that's come out as well. And you know what was so funny about all the reactions to the John Mateer stuff? I posted a joking deal about how, well, I think we can actually just show the clip here, and then we can talk about the reactions to it.
Make sure, too, that they can hear it. They couldn't hear the last one.
Oh, could they not?
No, per usual. We're still working on it, guys. The buttons are different, it seems like, every time we do this thing.
It really does seem like that, doesn't it? And this is awesome that my link isn't working. Link. Okay.
Wasn't Link the name of Zac Efron in Hairspray? And I'm...
What? I have no
Link.
idea. I could not tell you that for
I haven't seen that in like a decade, so I don't know.
This one I don't even know if it has sound, but we'll have to stay tuned.
Start it over for us, for those of us that missed it.
Boom. Absolute dot. To Giovanni Gibson, my transfer to watch player after he came in.
Gosh.
And look what we got right here. An excited football player running down the field. So anyone with a brain that's watched OU football would sit there and say, oh, that's what Baker used to do. I don't know why people assume that because you compare someone's reaction or emotive state after they make a play to someone else's that used to play here. They just assume that you're not saying that they look like that. You're saying that you expect them to play that level. It's like, dude, no one here expects him to win the Heisman next year. I hope he does.
But if he does.
Like, I mean, it's just not something that anyone is trying to say he should do. You're comparing like an emotional reaction to a play that is similar to what Baker used to do. It's obviously like a joke to be facetious. And it was thought. Did you not notice that? Like, there were so many people that were just saying, "Don't put this pressure on them. Don't do." I'm like, we're not. It was just.
Okay, so I'm low key one of those people, but I am okay. So, and I talked to you about this on our walk yesterday. I said I am both sides of the coin. I obviously you see that you see the running down, excited jumps, woohoo, go, but also like to me, kind of all quarterbacks. I feel like do that. I saw Jackson Arnold do that last year. Whatevs. But I'm also very pro or understanding of, like, I do think if we start making too many comparisons between him and Baker, people are going to just set that expectation in their head, which to me is not fair to him. Now, I will say, he did say, like, like in his interview, I understand what it means to be a quarterback at Oklahoma, and pressure is a privilege. So, like, I'm just going to embrace that, and I'm going to play my game, and I'm going to have my confidence, going to have, my quote-unquote swag or, whatever it is that people call it. He's like, but at the end of the day, like, I'm just playing football, playing the game I love. And I love that mindset, too, because... And he also said he hasn't really talked to Baker, too. He said of course, he's been busy. He's like, but it'd be really cool.
Yeah, he was a fan of his, right?
Who wasn't?
Well, I mean, what was he?
I believe so, yeah. Oh.
I'm hoping they can hear this. But if not... I'm going to share the screen here, but he had a really, I really liked, it was funny seeing him enter into the interview where he talked about,
turn it on. There it is.
Yeah, I did. It should have froze. He was talking about how there were so many cameras at the OU media day, which I thought was hilarious. He was like, yeah, it's a little different than Washington, I bet. But here's him talking about kind of his mindset in football. Let us know if you can hear this. Hopefully you can. It's turned on to share. So
people say I have swag. I mean, you just play football. I have the ball in my hand every play. I mean, I get the opportunity to do something on it, do something with it, and cameras on me all the time. So I guess I have swag. Some people say I have toughness. I just feel like I have an obligation to give everything I have for my teammates. People say I have swag. I mean, you just play football. I have the ball in my hand every play. I mean,
absolutely.
You got to love that. I mean, the right mindset, I think. And he does kind of. I really do like his. I don't know how to put this like in like terms that actually make sense, but he just has like a dog mentality. Like he really does just have a. I feel like this belief in himself, or just a rugged, just competitor.
I liked how he. It's such an obvious duh statement, but I like the embrace of I get the ball in my hands every play.
Right.
And it's like
true.
my job to do something with it.
Very true.
And so like that's, personal responsibility. And just, everyone's like, well, duh, the quarterback gets, but like to hear it stated that like I get it and it's my job to do something with it and I'm going to play football and to the best of my ability and do that. I don't know. I liked that. I just liked the maturity about that. Instead of, maybe being like, oh, crap, don't mess up, which I feel like we saw a lot last year.
Yeah.
But neither here nor there.
And I just, I just think like it, I don't know. I just was thinking that it was just something like Baker would do, not something we're saying he is, that Mateer's doing a lot, therefore. But I get what you're saying too. There might be some people that are putting unfair expectations, but I
think in general people put that on Oklahoma quarterbacks in general. They just expect every single one to always win the Heisman or be Heisman level or be Heisman contenders, which like I get that you want that, but let's talk about the actual reality of having a Heisman level anybody.
Right.
Is actually pretty rare.
100%.
And no matter where you are, you know what I mean? So people are already going to put that pressure on him anyway, whether or not they compare him to Baker or not. I'm pretty sure when Mateer first said he was for sure coming to Oklahoma, it was already like, that's it, Mateer's winning the Heisman, you know? So it is what it is. That's just part of being at Oklahoma, I suppose.
Yeah, true. Wanted to play this sound. We mentioned earlier about BV talking about just the pressure of this season.
I truly wonder if he's ever gotten checked for vocal nodules.
I wonder if he's ever tasted a calorie before. All right, here we go.
Every year's big, and for me, I know I've said that. I don't think people really like that. Well, that's just coach speak. But I go back to my first year, and Bill Snyder hired me on an interim basis. You ever been hired on an interim basis?
I love how he's like it's like a interrogation with the media. He's like,
part of me's like, yes, but I'm afraid to tell you yes.
Yeah,
like,
the guy asking the questions like, what? Yeah.
We basically said your job's on the line. I'm watching everything you do, and if your first screw up, there's no guarantee. And I'm also going to pay you pennies. All right? Well, that was my first time, and I was so thankful. But I've literally had that mindset my entire career. Every game's that way. Every day I show up,
True.
Something's on the line. My job's on the line. I've had that for 30 years. I'm going to hire you. I'm going to pay you $30,000, and I can't promise anything that you'll last past the summer. All right? That's literally what I was told. And I said, thank you, God, thank you.
And just think of like, that's the coach, Division I coach, a lot of them in general. Like Ben Arbuckle. 5 years ago was door dashing.
Volunteering at a football, high school football.
Yeah. DoorDash, and now he's the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma.
But here's the thing. That's the mindset I want of people leading young men.
100%.
And if I had a son, that's the mindset of a coach that I would want teaching my son and coaching my son.
Yes.
Be thankful for every opportunity, no matter how small. So if you never touched the field, be thankful that you got to be in the jersey. If you only got to play one snap, be thankful for that snap. If you got to play the whole game, be thankful for that game. If you got a scholarship to college, be thankful for that scholarship. Don't be thinking about all this other junk now.
Speaking on that.
Let me continue.
Yeah, go.
You get the chance to have a free education. You be thankful for that because that's going to open doors for you. You be thankful for those doors that's going to be opening.
Yep.
You be thankful for all the connections you make while you're here. You be thankful for that. One day you can be an alumni of the University of Oklahoma, say that you played for the football team, and how many doors that alone will open for you.
Yep.
You might not even stepped on the field, but if you say, oh yeah, I was on the team, immediately people in Oklahoma are going to be like, that's cool. I like this kid. I'm going to remember you. And that can get you jobs and that can get you other opportunities. And so I love that mindset of be thankful for everything. For every opportunity you get, be thankful for it. Thank God for it.
You're right. And it's
we don't have children, but like I always say when I hear coaches, and not even just Brent Venables, if I hear other really good interviews from coaches, I'm like, see, that's what I would be looking for in a coach. Because that, to me, your job at the end of the day as a coach is to build good citizens.
Yeah.
Is to build good people.
Yep.
And that's why a lot of them got into the sport, besides love of the game. It's to build these young men up. And so that mentality is still here is pretty awesome.
Well, and people are going to say their job is to win games. She gets that. She's just saying that should be, you should also want to build people. But let's finish this. And like going back to your thankfulness, that is a good story. Yeah, I know.
Competitive.
And I've had the
people
same
that'll-
mindset. And I believe because I've had that same mindset that I don't go like this and everything's on the line when he's fighting for his job. I've been fighting for my job every year. Like somebody's holding me under the water trying to drown me. And that's been my mindset. That's been my attitude when I come to work every day. So nothing's changing for me. Do we need to be better? You're damn right. Does your mindset got to change? Nope. And why am I going to call the defense? Because I'm good at it.
I mean, just absolutely mic dropped it. Just the greatest scene ever right
Just
there.
want to be like,
That
yes,
was awesome.
yes, queen.
No, do not yes Queen Brent Venables ever again.
I also love that when people always meet Brent Venables, they'll always say like, man, I leave talking to him like I want to run through a wall. I'm ready to do a workout because he's just so intense
Right.
and so fired up. And I freaking love it because I feel like I'm the same way. I was listening to that at work and I'm like, yeah, let's go get these 4-year-olds and let's learn how to say the V sound. Like, let's learn the pronoun they today. Like, it just, I don't know. I was like, yeah, fired up about it. But, and I love that. I love the energy and passion. He's right for all of it. 100%.
So, T was mentioning this. I don't know if anyone saw this. This isn't really OU related, but it's about just caring about the university you play for, which is one of my favorite stories I've seen maybe ever. This guy named Zach Towle. I don't know if you know this, but University of Kentucky holds an open tryout for their basketball team every year, or under this new coach they do. And if you make it through the tryout, there's like 200 kids that tried, and this kid ends up making it on the team. He gets to walk on. Well, he's never played for him and didn't know he would ever get to play for him. He was just a practice player. So senior night comes around, or this, I think senior night comes around. He didn't know, but he gets a jersey given to him in the locker room to show he's going to suit up. So he gets to say he suited up as a player. And then the coach subbed him in for like the first and only time. He subbed him into the game at the end of it. So now I'll go down as a University of Kentucky basketball player. And it went viral because his sister, recorded his reaction and then his family's reaction while he was checking in. It was actually really, really neat to see. So I'm, T's going to tear up and cry.
Oh, that's so nice.
But it was a really cool, really, really cool deal. And talk about just caring about playing for the team. I don't know. I just think that kind of stuff is special.
It is now.
But yeah, I think we can get to other sports now and other stuff. I think
Woo!
it helps whenever you have a plan. We can get through stuff.
We talk about
more
we do have a
quickly.
plan, but
We did
we just
pretty well
sometimes
with
get sidetracked.
But
Chad made himself a list to go through.
yeah, and that actually has helped a whole lot. I have my links here and everything. It just doesn't. Sometimes
Wow.
my computer
It
freezes.
just always amazes me when my husband's organized.
All right. Well, OU women gymnastics, we set a season attendance record.
Yeah!
43,000.
Let's go!
So congratulations to us and everybody that contributed and that went. And had fun.
Congratulations, OU fans. Let's keep that up. Let's keep running up those numbers.
Yeah. And for the men too. I'm not sure when their next meet is, though, or if they have them.
Ooh, they're going on to the SEC. I haven't
Okay.
either. I know. I feel bad because everybody's like, oh, touch on men's gymnastics. Oh, touch on tennis. Oh, touch on
Look, we're
baseball. And I'm
limited.
like, look, we already run really, really long talking about extra sports. What we really need to probably do is start doing post games for other sports as well.
No,
That would maybe help.
no, we don't. That would take way too much time.
But boy,
we're
would.
gonna go to OU softball.
Yeah. Oh, no, but gymnastics, women's gymnastics, we talked about they won.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna stay on this because I have beef with one of the judges.
Him and my father-in-law really do.
Me and my dad about stormed the mats.
But it was senior night for them. They pretty much woman handled Michigan. It was fantastic. Audrey Davis got absolutely robbed, per usual, on the bars. Jordan Bowers got robbed on the beam, which is even more frustrating because she needs the beam to get a perfect 10 on every single event in her career. So it was like, what more could she have done? And then Faith Torres got robbed on the floor. But I want to give a shout out to Danielle Sievers. She got to do her floor routine. And I mentioned in our gymnastics behind the scenes video podcast that, man, she was out there practicing her
Floor routine.
her floor routine with like just as much energy and sass as if we were like judges and as if she was performing it. And I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
she's
like
very
she was
good.
really fun.
True.
Man, when she got on the floor, she lit it up.
She did.
She was so entertaining. Like, you just couldn't take your eyes off her. She was so captivating. Not even just, like, obviously the flips that they do is incredible. Just her presence. And Michigan was on the floor before OU. And, like, the whole time, Chad and I were looking at each other like, huh. Like, they don't have any energy. Like, they look bored to be out there. Like, it was weird because floor is, like, everybody's favorite because of the music. And it's fun. And I don't know. I don't know if they didn't want to be there at that point or they're just not good performers. But man, Danielle left. She ate and left no crumbs.
What is up with
my
these moves you're
today?
doing tonight?
I don't know. I have a lot of caffeine in my body.
This
feel
isn't
like
normal for her, by the way. She doesn't do this stuff.
I feel like the squirrel from Hoodwinked. That's kind of how I feel right now. But anyways, no, she killed it. It was so fun. And it was so fun, in fact, that like or Chad's parents, but it's still my family, and Chad, like, they're all laughing and cutting up. And man, as soon as it was over, Paul, my father-in-law, Coach Smith, he's in here, looks over at Chad and goes, "That was fun." He goes, with her reports, like, "That was fun." He goes, "I really liked that one." And it was just, man, she killed it. If you could go back and find video on it, you watch it. It'll make you smile. It was fun. She did really, really well.
What won't make you smile is the judge they had over there. She absolutely robbed everybody. And I wish I could find her name and her picture.
On the beam, especially.
On the beam. Wherever she went, 9.5s were the max she got. This one guy's dishing out 10s. 9.95. Fair. 9.95.
Mm-hmm. She just hates them because she's not them.
She hates them because, and by the way, if you think we're being biased, Nathan McCollum here, a little manna, a little olive branch. Kids and I were there. They got cold at baseball Friday night, so we walked over to the LNC. That old lady should not be a judge anymore. I agree, Nathan, and the only thing colder than outside is her soul, her heart, because she would not give anybody a 10 when they deserved it. We got people doing nothing, not one mistake, 9.95. 9.95.
Right. And it was crazy is like you would see the other judges like hold up their 10 like, "Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it?" No.
She robbed Jordan Bowers. Mm-hmm. She robbed who was it on the
Audrey Davis.
Audrey Davis.
And then robbed Faith Torres.
Faith Torres. This woman needs criminal charges. She's robbing everybody. Everybody that has a chance at a 10, she's
armed robbery.
Yeah, literally.
She's armed with her pen.
Yeah.
They say the pen's mightier than the sword. So.
Yeah, and of course the fellow over there dishing out 10s when they're just being nice.
Deserved
10s. Not anything that's crazy. Not a 10 that was given to someone who landed out of bounds like at LSU. But
that's what happens when you have judges from Louisiana on your floor.
It's just Nathan, thank you for saying that because me and my dad we have
it was truly funny because they're like, "Ugh, not this lady again." The fact that they remembered her was astonishing to me.
And I know nothing about scoring. Gotten a little better since we went to the practice and learned stuff, and it's actually kind of fun to guess. He's much better than I am, but it was fun. Other than that. Anyways, overall they did really well. They're going to go to what's their next event? They have
Georgia this Friday at Georgia. And then I believe they go on to postseason. I believe it's SEC championship, and then they'll go on to Fort Worth for regionals, which regionals, nationals. Wait, I don't know. Whenever they go to Fort Worth, we're gonna try to go.
Yep, it'll be fun. It'll be a blast.
Should be fun.
All right. Well, what is next? I'll just mention OU basketball real quick, and then I'll let you do softball.
Okay.
OU men's basketball. They were 3-10 in SEC play. In the last 5 games, they lost 5 straight, losing 4 of them by 18 points or more. Now, when you're at the bottom of the hole, there's 2 things you can do. You can say, "I'm done, I'm quitting," a la be a Texas fan or athlete. Or you can meet Oklahoma Sooner and compete. And you can go 3-2 over the next 3, winning against number 12 Mississippi State, the number 15 Missouri, then at Texas, the first win of Porter Moser's career and the first since 2021. Against Texas. And you can up your chances to 72% to make the tournament based on ESPN's Bubble Watch Index.
Love it.
And I'm talking, that's how you come back and you face adversity. Now, and Tina, I've mentioned this.
Hold on.
Porter suited up last game.
1982, Boomer Sooner says, Porter suited up the last 2 games like you, Chatter.
That's awesome. I like Chatter.
Hey, look. Porter, I want you to shower in that suit.
Yeah. No,
actually, you know what? Don't shower because that's going to wash the magic out. I need him to wear that suit for every game going forward because apparently our hopes and dreams come alive when he wears it.
Now, is there an actual stat out there that when he wears a suit, we actually win?
They're like 3 for 3 this year.
Yeah.
When he's worn a suit.
Porter's got to see that, too.
Also, Porter, if you got some of those shoes you wore on Saturday in a size woman sick, I'll give you my address and you can just ship them here. That would be fantastic because those things were spicy.
Most projections have the OU men's team as an 11 seed, and they'll open up the SEC tournament against on Wednesday, right?
Wait.
Wednesday at 8:30 as an 11
Sorry.
seed.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah, 11 seed in the tournament.
And then we're going against an 11 seed.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we open against Georgia. They beat us last time by 10, but Georgia had 37 free throw attempts.
Which was like, what, 20 more than us or something?
Yeah,
It was like
37 free throw attempts. I don't even think that's possible.
It's a lot of free throws.
But,
But,
so
yeah.
there's that. There's also Sam Godwin has an MCL tear. Golly, T heard me do the. Oh, was she?
I'm just reading.
Okay, well,
Nate's.
Nathan, we just like to put in here some good stuff. Nathan McCullum, again with another olive branch. She needs to be put in a nursing home where Happy Gilmore's sweet grandma had to stay and let Ben Stiller character do her chores for her. My fingers hurt.
Oh my
T's
goodness.
gonna get that. Have you seen Happy Gilmore?
No.
Classic. You talk about one of the classics.
My problem is
A
I don't like dumb humor.
T, but this isn't even like a humor movie. It's a film.
I don't like
a
dumb
film.
humor films.
It's a film. You say it with like bass in here. It's a film.
Anyways.
Jackson Johnson, awesome suit, Chad. That suit is awesome, Chad. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Jackson.
He's never going to wear anything normal ever
no.
again.
Nope.
He's never going to be a pleb.
Nope.
But no, the men's basketball games, so proud of them. Missouri, from start to finish, they basically dominated that game.
Mm-hmm.
They were in control. And even though it got closer at
Mm-hmm.
times, that was kind of a game where I didn't think they were going to give it away. I don't know why.
No, right.
I just was like, no, they got this. And it was a weird comfort that I felt knowing that. Texas, different story. Started to get real nervous, especially because it's just in Austin.
Right.
So that was just nerve-wracking in and of itself. Now, I will say, at the end, I was a little upset because, and I felt validated because Jeremiah Fears even said he didn't even touch me.
Yeah.
At the end, when he gets the ball and starts dribbling, and I think refs just assume that you want to foul.
True.
And so they just call it whether or not you actually
So
fouled.
frustrating,
And I was
yeah.
like, I don't think he had even touched him. And sure enough, you see they pan to Jeremiah and he's like talking to Porter Moser and he's like, he didn't even touch me. I'm like, okay, because he could have kept going and then like they got 2 extra seconds at the end of the game. And he could have easily, he could have easily dribbled out 2 more seconds. It didn't come down to that last.
You mentioned that too. You're like those 2 seconds.
Right, that could have come back. But regardless,
And I want to
we
give.
got the dub, which was nice. And we had, I think, 5 or 6 different players in double digits.
Yeah, we did.
Pretty
have a lot.
fantastic.
We want to give fear. Oh, back to just real quick on the Sam Godwin MCL tear. He didn't need surgery, so they actually said there's some hope he could play in March Madness. So I mean, maybe, hopefully,
He's played
So-
so hard. He deserves to play in it.
he does. Also,
I love his energy on the bench.
yeah, he's out there. Yeah,
I need
Porter
like
Moser
gifs.
mentioned that.
I need gifs of Sam Godwin because he was doing awesome.
Want to give also, although everyone knows him, obviously, but Jeremiah Fears. I said he hadn't looked like a top team. I see it now in the last
He's
few,
played really
especially.
hard the last
He had
few.
31-5 against Missouri, and then 27-10 against Mississippi State. And he just played well against Texas. I thought, he handled the ball well.
Right.
Didn't
He
make
didn't
any dumb
start out-
decisions. But yeah,
As hot, I think he was 0 for 7 or something like that. But he kept playing. And also, what your job as a point guard, yes, you need to score, but you need to get the ball where it needs to go to.
Sure.
So even though he wasn't scoring, he was finding the right passes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest will come into play. And he did. He made a run and was able to score some points, which, of course, if he's scoring, we're obviously a lot better of a team.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that, he does take his role very seriously.
Sure.
But yeah, no, the boys have really stepped up. I've been really proud of them. That's why I hated it so much for Sam Godwin, because on his senior night, he had 12 points in 11 minutes.
wow.
He was
That's so sad.
probably having the best game of his career at OU and then gets hurt. So I'm hoping for him that he can find a way to return and get some minutes in the tournament should they rightfully get in. They do have
1982
that good resume.
Boomer Sooner says Mississippi State, Mizzou, Texas. So I didn't Texas 3-0 suited up border. There we go.
I love people who are making jokes about the suit. Too.
Also, 173 days until kickoff of the 2025 Oklahoma season. So I'm glad y'all are getting prepared now. And then Jackson says, tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Kroger about the magic that Chad and Tierney bring on Sooners Live Monday nights on Oklahoma at the voice of college football. Dude,
That's
I could
us.
read that like a news announcer.
I was in broadcast journalism for 1 year. You would think I would do a little better, but I'm still working on it.
I'm gonna read it like a radio guy.
But
Tell
also,
your
I was
friends
being
and
graded.
family.
Oh,
What?
yeah. Chad, DJ Spitty Spins. Spinny spins. I said Spitty. You can be Spitty sometimes. Whatever.
Smitty spins?
Smitty spins?
That's about DJ Smitty spins. That'd be going. Yeah, you can call me DJ Smitty spins.
No.
Tell your friends
I
and
can
your
call
family.
you a lot of things, but I shouldn't.
And the
put them on
cashiers at Kroger about the magic that Chad and Tierney bring on Sooners Live Monday nights on Oklahoma at the Voice of College Football. I should probably know how to say the name of our own show. Yeah.
Can I try? I'll do my news anchor voice.
No.
I love those videos when it's like, and you are live from the kitchen.
Yep.
Tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Kroger about the magic that Chad and Tierney bring on the Sooners Live Monday nights on Oklahoma at the Voice of College Football.
It's pretty good.
Dun, dun, dun.
Pretty good. You had a little Siri in the voice.
Please turn left at the next available turn.
You had a little bit of that. That's fantastic, T. Awesome. Look at it. Getting better in front of our fans. It's what makes us different, I think.
Fans can call them friends.
Viewers.
There we go.
No.
All right, we have talked
Okay.
basketball. We have talked gymnastics.
Talked it all, I think. We just had
The women fell short to South Carolina, but we're not going to talk about it because I was upset. Not necessarily at them,
Right.
just in general.
Wait, what do you mean fell short?
Not softball.
Yeah, I was
basketball.
Okay.
I'm upset in the sense that turnovers, granted South Carolina 19 points and you lose by 18.
True.
I think the last time we played South Carolina, I said, yeah, you know what you can't do? You can't have that many turnovers providing a good team that many points, and then you're going to be able to hit shots. They did not hit shots early. They turned the ball over. It's just a recipe for disaster. They came back as the women do, and they fought back. So, they will always have my respect for the level of fight that they had.
Right.
It didn't help, too, when they were fighting back that, the foul count was 9-3 while in South Carolina. But that's not why we lost, foul count. But it just doesn't help when you're already down and you're the less aggressive team, and yet you get called for my fouls. But neither here nor there. I wish them luck as they go into their NCAA tournament. We will be watching.
We will. Buzzy Boehm?
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I try. It's something we
He
both
really
do.
carries us.
Dude, half that is I love seeing the eye roll because it's everything. Every time I talk, she says I have a tell.
He does have a tell.
I don't know.
He takes a really dumb breath.
A dumb
And then
breath.
usually he'll kind of poke up his chest a little bit.
Mean.
And then maybe give one of these. Look. Yeah. You'll learn. You'll learn this tell.
No. I don't have to tell. Sorry, I interrupt you. Did you get all the
Softball.
softball? That's right.
Woo!
Now, I want to say this about me. Okay, I know that everyone here, and I saw a lot of comments too. When I said Patty Gasso, I thought had a lot to bring to the team.
Then she might have
People
something.
laughed, they mocked me, they made fun. I think you even chuckled a little bit. You even said, You went, You looked at me and you went,
But you made such a bold hot take.
There's limbs on trees. A lot of
Okay.
people sometimes there's even there's birds that land on trees, but there's food on the edge of the limb.
Okay.
The birds that die are the ones that don't go out on a limb.
Okay.
I go out on a limb. And I told people, I said, I think Patty Gasso has a lot. I think she has something to her. And look what she's shown this year. So a little pat on my back to go out and give these takes that a lot of people are afraid to say. But, that's big league baseball. That's life in showbiz. You can't be afraid to do it. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, let's talk about
I love
it.
that you compared yourself to a bird because they too have small brains.
Whoa, that's fantastic.
Anyways.
That was really good.
Anyways. On to
What a bird
softball.
by you. That's fantastic.
On to softball. Man, it was a wild, I would say weekend, but 2 days. Because they didn't get to play Saturday. We won 10-9, 10-9, 2-1. What?
Oh, we
Crazy.
did win 10-9, didn't we?
Yeah,
2-1.
twice. And it was just South Carolina, man, they're a gritty, tough team. They were undefeated as well going in. They were undefeated as well. One more time. They were undefeated as well.
See, they were undefeated coming into the series.
They were.
How
They
about-
hadn't lost a game.
But how about after it?
They lost 3 in a row.
So that's not undefeated, right?
Yeah. Do you have a broom? Okay. Anyway.
You're on fire right now. Whoa!
This is me. This is about as spicy and as much trash talking you're going to get from me. So if you're offended by me, I'm sorry that your life's so hard. I'm sorry that your life is so good that I say the most offensive things you hear. But anyways, they are a really good team. They were number 10 coming into the weekend, undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
OU and South Carolina are the only 2 undefeated teams left. And D1 softball, now there is only one as they say, team undefeated in Division I softball, and that is the Oklahoma Sooners. Woo! Round of applause. Man, I was watching the first game while at the gymnastics meet, and so it was funny because like I would watch all the OU performers, and then like usually for the Michigan, even though I tried to pay attention for the other team, I just couldn't. I had to keep my eye on softball, and I would be like, yes or no, and I was like keeping everyone around me updated. And it was funny because I noticed there was a couple other people along the way that were also streaming it, so I was like,
Right.
yeah, like these are my people.
Yeah.
So it was really, so I didn't really get to like focus on that game as much as I would have liked to, but I just know that we were down 5-1. And this was at a time like my phone was kind of buffering because of all the traffic going on in Norman at that time. And so like whenever it finally like stopped buffering, I was like, holy cow. I texted my family, I'm like, am I reading this right? Are we down 5-1? And they're like, yeah, no, it wasn't the best. I was like, oh no. Let me see my notes here. But we weren't down long, if you will. Let's see. So,
We really weren't. T was sitting next to me,
who was it?
stressed out.
I think somebody, anyways, but yeah, I'm pretty sure someone got a grand slam and we kind of like made our way into it. But I just remember I was stressed out. Chad was like, T, like,
I looked at her. I was like, T, calm down. It shall pass.
were you Morgan Freeman?
That's what I was going for.
Okay, well, he's better. Anyways, but I remember I really was stressed, but I was trying to like support gym, and I was trying to support softball, and there was a whole lot going on, but they ended up pulling out the win, and I remember we won. I was like, yeah!
Yeah. She was like kind of updating the whole stadium, like stage or
Yeah.
group around us seats. It's
And
funny.
I know we were up 10-6 going into the final inning, and I was almost gonna like get out of it, but I was like, nah, South Carolina's got to fight them. I can feel it, and they did. They scored 3 runs. We pulled it out, won 10-9, and I thought wasn't Sam Landry. I thought Isabella Smith. She started rough, and this is at the point where I was getting really frustrated because she had walked 4 out of the 5 first people that she faced.
Yeah.
Almost 5 out of 6, and I was like, oh my goodness, like, and probably to her, it's the SEC opener. She's never played in an Oklahoma uniform. Big bright lights, big stage, a little chilly outside. Just wasn't just nerves, But
Yep.
she settled in and she finished strong, so I was really happy for her, and she ended well despite the fact that we gave up 3 runs at the end. But not all her. And then, man, game 2 started out fun, then got stressful. Because in the very first inning, or second inning, we had back to back home runs, which was fantastic. It went from Nelly to Gabby to Sid. And I mean, it was fabulous. I was like, oh great, we're winning 5-0. This is going to potentially be a runaway. No. Unfortunately it wasn't. But also at the same time, it was a fun softball game. Objectively.
True,
I was
true.
stressed out, but objectively it was fun. It was essentially a home run derby. Nelly, we got down. Nelly hits another home run. She had 2 in a game to give us the lead. I will say that I think Isabella was left maybe in 1 inning too long. And then just because I just felt like she was kind of losing that. And I feel like they were connecting a little bit better, but neither here nor there. It doesn't matter anymore. Peyton Malnaselli came in and she was quite solid.
Yeah.
Like, I was pretty proud of how she was pitching until she needed 1 more strike, puts one right over the plate, boom, home run, and we're down again. But even then, as a whole, like, I feel like Peyton Monticelli has come a long way. But she still has, to me, a long way to go. But
Yeah.
I have seen improvements with her. I've been very impressed with how she's been doing.
Boom.
Kirsten Deal came in, was solid. Much better than she was in game 1, in my opinion. And, of course, at the very end of the game, really needed some runs. Ella and Cassidy, they walk them because, smart. I get it. And then Gabby Garcia, freshman phenom, if you will. Bam! Drives
Is that
them
the
in.
one that left early?
No. That was, I believe, Elena Agbagiani left early in a game. I might be giving her wrong credit. I don't remember, so I'm not going to say.
Who's the freshman that left high school year?
Oh, no, that was Sophie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. My bad.
Sophia something. She hasn't played yet.
Sophia Garcia was the old pitcher at UCLA, wasn't it? I think it was. That's
I'm
what
not good
thinking
with
of.
names.
That's
Don't
who it
name
was.
me. Can we take this off?
Yeah, well, I was going to read it later.
Oh, sorry. Just kidding. I thought that
news.
was his earlier one.
No.
Go ahead and read it because we have one more game.
Baseball plays Louisiana Tech Wednesday at 6:30 at L. Dale, and women's tennis plays in Norman Friday at 5 against Kentucky, and Sunday against Tennessee at 1 p.m. Thank you,
Nathan,
Dog.
I think I'm a big
You
OU
rock, dude.
fan. I think we're big OU fans. Nathan might be the biggest
Nathan just
University
bold
of
ran.
Oklahoma fan, and I applaud him. And he takes his kids to these events, and it's fantastic.
True.
You know,
Very
most of our fans are Oklahoma football fans. And I'm talking in general, not like fans of our show, but like in general, most OU fans are OU football fans. And then you have people who might be just pure OU softball fans at this point. Then you have people who are OU fans who like multiple things, support the university, but then you have Nate, who's there for everything.
Nate
I'm
is
sure
there
if
for
he knew when
everything.
rowing was,
He would show up.
he'd be there.
He'd be there.
And I aspire to be
He'd be
Nate.
waiting.
And maybe if I lived much closer to Norman, we probably would be at a lot more things.
Very
But
true.
unfortunately, it takes us like an hour.
But, Galardio's tough to get out of at night. It's just tough.
Yeah, I wish.
It's tough to get out.
But unfortunately, we live an hour away. Shoot, it took us 2 hours to get back from Norman.
Yeah, security at the
the
front
other day.
gate was being
Oh my
really tough.
gosh.
It's just tough,
Anyways,
dude. Like, I live
but
here. I live down the street.
Stop. Game 3, the Sooners won 2
Tough to get
to 1.
in.
Not a whole lot to say there, honestly. But 2 to 1. Sam Landry wasn't available for pitching this weekend. Said she was injured. It was a practice injury. But doesn't seem serious. So maybe just taking the weekend off. They come back. They play Wednesday as well, I believe, at 5. So you can watch softball and then turn around and watch men's basketball at 8:30. And then they will go to Fayetteville, Arkansas to take on the Hogs. Ooh.
Yep.
And then
Shout out Callie and Gavin.
for their shout out to our friends Callie, Gavin, Kate, Mackenzie. He just really likes Gavin.
Shout out Gavin.
Yeah.
Dog.
And so they will have their series there in Fayetteville before, they can turn around. So I don't know when the women's NCAA tournament opens up yet. Haven't heard when their first game is. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Lots of sports going on.
That was some of the best just nutshelling I've ever heard in my life.
I
That was
tried. I'm trying not to
fantastic.
keep too many notes because I also get lost in the sauce.
fantastic.
What's actually funny is game 2 for softball lasted 3 hours.
Jeez.
3 hours, y'all. Game 3 lasted an hour and 20 minutes.
3 hours is
That sucker was
That is wild. Hour
over. It's almost like both teams were like, we have no more to
I
give.
bet South Carolina had a plane to catch.
Probably, but it's almost like both teams were like, oh, we're exhausted. Like that little girl from the Holes. I'm tired of digging, Grandpa. It's kind of like what they were like. I'm tired of playing softball, Grandma. And
is
so
true.
like it was like 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. Oh look, errors, hits, run. All right, home run. 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. Like it was pretty quick game. But
Also-
after 3 hours of an emotional roller coaster
Right.
for me, an hour and 20 minutes felt pretty good.
OU men's baseball doing well.
Undefeated as well?
Yeah, undefeated. Well, no, they lost.
Did they?
Yeah, they lost to Dallas Baptist by like 11. Yeah, like 11-0. They lost
Oh.
badly. But Dallas
This is
Baptist
what I
top,
get for not keeping
around
up with
top 10 or
baseball
so
when
team.
you say
But I was going
should.
to say they moved up, I think, to 12 in the rankings right now.
Nice.
So they're doing really well
Okay.
still. They're playing really well.
Throw some respect on it.
Yeah. Yep.
I will say, I try to tune into more baseball.
Mhm.
The pro-
We don't need to get into it.
yeah.
It's been a great show. We're going to end it on a high
has.
note. Make sure you like and subscribe to the
Yes.
channel. Make sure you like it. And throw a comment in the YouTube chat, by the way.
Right.
It just helps us
You're
boost
already in the
video.
chat, but go into the comments and give us a boomer.
yeah.
Give us a you guys suck. Give us a we love you guys. We don't really care. Just throw a comment on it. That's fantastic for us.
Oh,
Throw a like on the video.
before I do anything, all OU football players and or athletes that ever wear a suit to any event that you've ever been to in your life. Okay, there are a few things that are no-goes when you wear a suit. Okay. Now, I don't work on Savile Row. I don't know everything about a suit. There are a
And for
couple.
those of you who don't know, Savile is in London.
There are 3 or 4 key things with a suit that you want to make sure you do. So I'm going to have to get, active when I show you this. Okay? Show off the athleticism a little bit. First thing is,
It's athletic to
you
stand
want
up.
to show about a 1/4 inch of your cuff. Okay? Right here. Can you hear me? Hopefully they can hear me. Okay? Doing this for the people. 1/4 inch of your cuff. You don't want it to be too long, but you don't want it to be like this. Okay? If I come out and see suits with this going on, no! Okay? Also, and I don't know if I can take this off or not. I wish I could.
I love that if I stood, that'd probably be like the perfect
But
length for my,
no joke.
my
There
mind.
are also one other thing that you should never do.
Never.
Ever do. Okay?
Never.
If you don't want to button your suit, that's fine. Okay? A real gentleman will always button a suit when he's standing up. All right? You button the suit. You button the top one. Okay? There's a button down here. If you ever button this bottom one, you need federal crimes. You need federal charges,
Okay.
and you don't ever need to be able to put a suit. You never button the bottom button, okay? If you know nothing but this if you learn nothing else in this podcast, you're going to learn you never button the bottom button in a suit, okay? Never button
Also, when you're sitting,
the second button.
unbutton.
And when you're sitting, you unbutton your suit. Why do you do that? Okay, you'll see people do this on ESPN. First off, they pay for their suits. They get new suits, so don't have to worry about it. If you sit and you don't do this, you see how it's popping right here? You're going to ruin the lapel. Okay, this thing is made of hard fabric. If you don't unbutton it and let it relax, over time it'll break down. It'll start causing creases and other things of the sort. So, number one rule.
Also, it's not flattering.
Never
it
button
cuts
the
awkward.
second one, right? You never button the second one.
Okay, no buttoning the second
God, that
button.
drives me crazy because I see our players walking down in a suit. They look good. Then they button the second button, and I'm thinking, don't play him.
Okay.
John Mateer, if you button the second button, get on your second string. Get on the bench.
Oh my gosh.
Because there are this country was built in a lot of things. One of those is wearing a suit correctly and you don't button the second button.
I'm pretty sure all they had was like pilgrim shoes and like.
I remember I took common law, and I remember in the Fourth Amendment in there somewhere it says unreasonable search and seizure unless you button your second button, then you get no constitutional rights.
And so and also since suits at the time were probably coming from Savile Row, when they threw the tea in the harbor, they then threw the suits in the harbor.
Yeah, well, guess what? I bet the suit's second button wasn't buttoned when it went down to the bottom
God.
because they can't ever be. So there you go. That's your tip of the day. Teal
So
have one
now
next
that
week.
we have gotten out, I should have a Xeno Zone ready
Yeah, she actually should have
for
one.
next week. I did have it ready for today, but we had so many topics I didn't want to just continue to pile on. Love your show by Modern Caveman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, man.
But yes, like the video, throw a comment in the comment section instead of the live chat when you can.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on socials at Chad P. Smith and at Tyranny_Kristen. Follow the Voice of College Football on socials as well. And yeah,
Yeah, and never button the second button.
never button the second button. And we'll see you back here on Monday.
You guys
a week
rock.
from now. Bye, everyone.
Boomer.
Sooner.